Alright, what's going on, guys? Trey back again here to bring you another video. This one's going to be talking about The Walking Dead and why does it work so well. So, the concept of why The Walking Dead TV show and comic book in particular works so well compared to a lot of other, zombie media. So, I mean, the zombie subgenre of horror, so to speak, has been around for a long time. It's nothing new. I mean, the original Night of the Living Dead was produced in 1968, so this is not like a new concept, so to speak. I mean, it's been around for a really, really long time. There's been plenty of comic books done about it, plenty of other movies, from the Romero films to some like Return of the Living Dead, Evil Dead comedy, Shaun of the Dead, all these different types of things. So why does the Walking Dead itself work so much better than the others? What is it about it that makes it work so much better than the other movies and media, even in comic books too? I think personally, if there has to be one thing I would pick for the reason why it works so much better than the others and why it's so much more interesting is number one, because it's not about the zombies. It's not about the zombies at all. The zombies are not a key focus in the story. The zombies are there, yes, because that's the world they live in, but the focus of the story in The Walking Dead is on the characters. The focus is on how the characters change in that world. Rick Grimes, what happens to him in this type of world? Who is he in this world, and what happens to him when he can't find his family? It's about the characters. It's not about the zombies themselves. And I think that a lot of movies, they really get it wrong where they focus too much on the zombies and what's going on with them, and they really don't show that progression of the characters over time. The other reason why I think it works so well is because most zombie movies and media, they end so quickly. They really don't give us, like, we don't feel like we're getting the whole story of a real, survivor here. I mean, Rick Grimes and the story of him and the group that's with him, so to speak. I think that's a very intriguing story because it makes you feel like the story is several years of what life would be like in a zombie apocalypse. Not just like a weekend or something. Not just like a week or maybe a month. Like, for example, Dawn of the Dead, the original Romero Dawn of the Dead, the characters find a mall and they stay in the mall. But by the end of the movie, you can't just have it end just like that. Like, oh, happy ending, they found a mall and they're safe. Um, it just sort of, you just really can't do that. So what they did instead was what Romero decided to do was have like a band of looters, come in and steal everything and have almost everybody pretty much killed off, and then a couple characters at the end get away. But what happens to them after that? They get away, but then what? I think The Walking Dead is really good because it answers the questions, and then what? It doesn't just end just with okay, they had to leave the mall. Now what? They had to leave the farm. Now what? They had to leave the campsite. Now what? It takes us through that, and it's more meaningful because over the period of time, it focuses so greatly on the change in the characters more so than the change of the world. In The Walking Dead, it's so focused on the characters. We don't know about things like how did the infection really get started? Who's responsible for it? What happened? All these types of things. We don't know that because the story is not about the infection itself. The story is about the characters. Anyway, so that's why I think The Walking Dead works so well. Those two key reasons. Number one, not about the zombies. Number two, we get to see it over a long period of time. We get to sort of experience it with these characters, not just for a weekend, but for several years in terms of the comic book, and in terms of the TV show, at least a few months at this point. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. See you for the next one. Later. Peace.